All right, let's talk about something that's at the core of any long-term success: mental toughness. We're going to break down what it really is, and more importantly, how you can actually build it. No excuses, no shortcuts. So let's get right into it.
So I want to start with a pretty challenging question. If the small, everyday problems are enough to break you, what happens then? The unspoken answer is that life is just going to keep throwing bigger and bigger challenges your way until you finally build the strength to handle them. Okay, so where do we even begin to build that inner strength? Well, first things first, we've got to clear up a huge misconception. We have to be really clear on what toughness is not. And it is absolutely not the same thing as aggression.
Just think about the difference for a second. Aggression is loud, right? It's reactive. It's all an external show for everyone to see. But true toughness, that's something else entirely. It's quiet. It's controlled. It's an internal thing that doesn't need to prove anything to anybody.
And this really gets to the heart of it. Control is always greater than reaction. I mean, anybody can react. That's just our base instinct. It's easy. But to actually choose a controlled response, that takes real discipline. And that little pause, that moment between what happens to you and how you respond, that's where all the strength is.
So if toughness is a skill and not something you're just born with, how in the world do we develop it? Well, we have to treat it just like a muscle. It needs consistent daily training. You don't just magically wake up one day mentally tough, you build it, piece by piece, day after day.
And the number one rule of this training is super simple, but so important. Comfort kills toughness. Your comfort zone, it's a nice place to hang out, but nothing ever grows there. If we're going to build this muscle, we have to deliberately and consistently step outside of that zone.
So what does this training actually look like? We're not talking about some grand heroic mission here. It's about the small daily choices that push you just a little bit. It's things like taking a cold shower when you don't want to, or finally having that difficult conversation you've been putting off, or just showing up to do your workout even when you're exhausted. These are the daily reps that build real, lasting fortitude.
Now look, this training isn't just about physical actions. The real work, the most important work, happens inside your own head. The biggest battleground is always your own mind, and that means you have to become the master of your inner voice.
There's this line that just captures the whole idea perfectly. Mind jo repeat karta hai, wahi banta hai, which means what the mind repeats, it becomes. It's that simple. If that voice in your head is just a constant loop of complaints, excuses, and negativity, guess what? That's going to be your reality. But if you start to cultivate a voice of resilience, that's who you'll become. And this is where it all connects. By choosing those small discomforts, you're feeding your mind a new story, a new repetition. Hey, I can do hard things.
So all of these practices, embracing discomfort, mastering your thoughts, they are all built on one single critical foundation. And without this piece, trust me, none of the other stuff will hold up. And that foundation is self-trust. What is it? It's simply the belief that you will actually follow through on the promises you make to yourself. You build it slowly, brick by brick, every single time you say you're going to do something, and then you actually do it. I want you to think of it like this. Every promise you keep to yourself, no matter how small, is a deposit into your mental strength account. All those daily reps we talked about, the cold shower, showing up tired, they aren't just uncomfortable moments. Each one is a promise you kept. Each one is another deposit. And over time, those deposits, they compound. Self-trust isn't just related to mental strength, it is mental strength.
All of this brings us to what is probably the single most important takeaway from this whole thing. If you remember just one idea, let it be this one.
Mental toughness is trained, not born. It's not some genetic lottery that some people win and others lose. It is a skill. And just like any other skill, it's something you can develop through deliberate practice. At the end of the day, it's a choice you get to make every single day. So the only question left is, what choice are you going to make?